it?
So our topic today is basically about finding customers and growing your business.
Finding customers and growing the business. Okay, great. So let me give you a brief overview of who Chinedu is. Chinedu and I went to school and of course we did the first year, the second year, and he's my very, very good friend, and I actually call him my pastor for some strange reason, even though he's not, but I just call him pastor for some reason. But I don't know if you remember this, and I don't know who has followed my history, but part of what I did say that at some point in time I hit a roadblock in my business. So when I hit a roadblock in my business, of course, Chinedu has been someone that has been very, very into my business. So when I hit a roadblock and I just got tired, what he did, he was the one that fixed the roadblock. Do you remember that?
I remember faintly.
Yeah, you paid for it. Yes, I actually paid for it. Can you just imagine? That was how many years ago now? And that experience just totally, literally just changed my life, because it made me understand how people think. And that's the mistake people make. When you learn in another environment and you're trying to customize it in the Nigerian environment, it's always very difficult. So after I went to Faith Foundation, things seemed a bit clearer. It's a business school. I did a business course. It was the AET program, and things just kind of made sense. And ever since then, it hasn't been a roller coaster of a ride, but it has actually had its own ups and downs. So Chinedu has been someone that has been asking me questions about business and things like that. We're always sparring and always arguing. He was the one who told me, make sure you find an Igbo man to be on your team. So that said, and I think Chinedu should talk about himself before we go straight into what we're talking about, and then we can conclude this short class. So Chinedu, what do you do?
Okay, so today basically I work as a strategist. My role is helping businesses grow. So over the years, I've had experience in business development, strategy, operations, sales and marketing in different industries, from across entertainment, oil and gas, and executive education. So finally, like you, I finally have started my own business in consulting and helping people with it.
Oh God, welcome to the world of entrepreneurship. You didn't tell me about LBS. You used to work with LBS in your business development unit.
Yeah. So I worked with LBS for a couple of years. We were basically...
That was after your oil and gas stint, which is going to be a manager. Am I the one that took the property?
Yeah, exactly. Your value pairs. Yeah. So that's it. So that's what I've been doing for the past couple of years. And now I'm on my own, on the same side with Martwayne.
Yes, you are. So our topic today is about finding customers. And I know you've been trying to understand what the fashion industry is about. Also because you to basically help me make way with my business plan and my sales units, my marketing units, and everything. And you've asked me some challenging questions, which I know you're going to talk more about today, which is customer journey and finding your customer and stuff like that. So for the benefit of those watching, I know what you're going to talk about. You sent it to me by email, I've read it. So maybe you should let's just start. So where do you've been trying to study the fashion industry, where do you see the challenges? Because most people on this platform are fashion designers. People are really difficult to make things work or are frustrated, right? So tell us where we're going wrong, how we can find customers, and of course how to increase revenue, because that is really why everybody's in business.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know if it's a question of what has been done wrong, but I think we all need to realize is even though you're a tailor, you're a designer, the key thing is that you're doing a business. So in much the same way ExxonMobil is selling oil, you're selling your fashion, it's business. Whether it is whether you're in the fast-moving consumer goods industry, whether you're in KPMG, whether you're in PwC, whether you are in KFC, whether you're Mr. Biggs, whatever you're doing, you are a business person and you need to think like a business person. So in terms of finding customers and growing your revenues, the first thing you need to ask is, who are my customers? Now that requires you basically sitting down to understand who the customers are, what is their age, what do they do, what is their lifestyle, what need are you meeting for the customers, okay? And ask yourself a second question, do I have a product for these people? So basically, in summary, what I'm talking about is your product market fit. So if you go into the world of private equity, you hear these words very often, product market fit. So do I have a product for a market? That's the first question that you should even answer. Now, in talking about your job to be done, you need to understand that every customer needs your service for something. So if it is buying your clothes, the question you should ask yourself is, why is he buying my clothes? Is he buying it simply to just put some materials on his body? Is he buying it because of the image or what my clothes represent? Is he buying it because of what I represent? So you need to understand those kind of things. You also need to know who the customers are. I said that before. But in terms of exact specifics, so if, for example, you have 100 people in your network, right, and you throw a word about your business and 3 people come and purchase your products, now that is your customer. You need to go deep to understand who these 3 people are. Okay, where did he have?
So what exactly do we need to do in terms of going deep and stuff? Because I've always argued with business people. One of the things I've always argued is, for us designers, it's not just about going to see what the problem is. Otherwise, we get frustrated and we just, stop. What we do is work with what we enjoy doing and then go out to for a customer that will patronize what we do. You understand? Because the truth is, before Facebook started or before a lot of this, we didn't even know we needed their service. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So how do you even know that this service is actually something that's being needed? What if I'm trying to create an industry? Because I remember when I came and I told you this problem. When I started my business, everybody told me the money was in Ashwebi, right? And I did Ashwebi. Yeah. But I hated it.
I think, so in other words, what you're asking is basically, how do you measure your product market fit? How do you know you have a product that somebody wants? I think the easiest way first is to know who pays. So customers are not stupid. So if you push out the product and nobody's buying, maybe one, nobody needs your service. 2, maybe you're targeting the wrong markets. So
but everybody wears clothes. Like, how can you possibly not need a tailor?
Yeah, but exactly. But it's not just. But see, that's the thing. So there's a functional need and there's an emotional need for a product. So the functional need, of course, is clothes, but the emotional need is different. Okay, so that's why I said. So certain things you buy because of status, certain things you buy because of the emotional appeal that the product gives you. You're not just buying it simply to cover your clothes. If not, you could just tie a sack around your body. But when it comes to fashion and what you wear, you're expressing yourself. It's an expression of yourself. So the question you need to ask yourself, what's that person desiring to express? Is it comfort? Is it social status? Is it education? Is it enlightenment? There has to be a reason why somebody will probably buy your product. There has to be an emotional reason. I think there are some of the things that you can ask. See, it's not an easy thing to say it is X or Y, but the point is that you need to find out. And the point about product market fit or even finding customers or growing revenue is that you need to think and understand that basically what you're doing is that you're running experiments. It's not, you can't just sit down and draw a business plan on paper and take it to the market and insist that the business plan must move in a sequence of A, B, C, D, and E, and F. You need to be flexible. You need to find out, before you move from A to B, something needs to be done. Okay, so this product I've put out to the market, maybe it's not for the target market.Maybe nobody likes it. How can I change it? So that's the thing. So you need to understand that in developing a product.
But the thing about, I keep going back to fashion. The issue with fashion is, are you actually telling me that there is actually nobody that needs my service? I find that very hard to believe because, as fashion designers, we are doing one or two things. We're either making clothes for people or making Ashwebi or making office wear. Are you telling me that in Lagos has about, it's not 4 million people or 20 million people. Are you telling me that it is impossible that not possible that I don't know, this network.
Yeah, network is funny. But I think I got what you're saying. See, so fashion is, you're the expert here. I'm sure everybody else listening have more expertise than I do. But the truth about fashion is, it's not just a question of clothing. Okay? Like I said, if it was clothing, we could tie sacks and just cover on our body. But the thing is, you need to understand that your clothes are an extension of yourself. Okay? Extension of your mood, extension of the situation that you're in, extension of your thought of your frame of mind. No. So it basically starts in the mind, right? So you can't just see fashion in terms of, so there are 100 million people, so therefore if I sell 100 shirts, if I bring out this design, 100 million X number of people will buy it. No. The thing is, you need to understand that shirt has an emotional need. It suits an emotional need. But the question is, what is that need? That's what you need to.
So what's the need you buy? I mean, what's your need for a shirt, for example? Just give us from your perspective.
So if I'm going, for example, I had an event this afternoon, okay? And what I wanted to express was a certain cool, calm nature, okay? So I had the question, in my cupboard I have different clothes to wear, but I chose a particular look because it expresses how I think for that event. It's not a question of me just putting on clothes. It has to express my thinking, my feeling, my being, who I am at that point in time. So I won't wear certain things, no matter how cheap or expensive that they are. I won't wear them because they don't express me at that point in time. So the point is, there's a
I see half of your face. I don't see half of your face.
Sorry?
I can't see half of your face.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the thing. So the point is, there's an emotional and there's a functional dimension to whatever it is that you're selling, and to whoever it is that you're selling to. So you need to know what is emotional for those people. You need to break it down to the specifics and know. So if you know, for example, that typically my clothes are typically for people of a certain age, people of a certain demographic in this kind of situation, then your marketing is targeted towards that. If you know that your clothes typically are for everyday wears, or if you know that people typically like to wear my clothes at night when they're about to sleep, or people like to wear their clothes when they're with their girlfriend, wear my clothes when they're with their girlfriends or their husbands, but the thing is that there's a need that your clothes are meeting. So fashion has gone beyond just covering your body. It's the expression of who you are. So you need
so I mean, you said something now. You are very busy. How do we actually know the need we're trying to?
It's by asking questions. So there's some ways.
And I know your principles cut across board. It's not just fashion designers, but I'm focusing on fashion designers because most people that are watching this are fashion designers.
Yes, I get that. Sorry that I have to keep moving my head close to the phone to hear. So there are a couple of ways to do it. One is you can simply ask. I'm just trying to understand. Another way is, like I said, private.
What do you mean by ask?
You can ask. You can ask questions.
Like surveys or what?
Yes, surveys, interviews. Basically, I would suggest interviews or basically watching people. So your friend is going for. Okay, for example, you and I are going for an event. What do you change to, and why did you change your clothes? I'm sure this is not the same thing you wore when you went out this morning.
Oh, so this is basically gathering data and doing some market research.
You need to gather data. Not in this big sense.
Where do we get the time to do all this? I mean, we have to make the clothes. A lot of us are very operational in nature. Like, I left the office like past 7 because I was working on a deliverable for tomorrow. I had a very tight deadline. You understand? So the truth is, we are too busy to do these things.
Busy doing what is the question? Remember I said my introduction, I said this categorically. Yes, I sew clothes, but the fact remains you are a business person. Okay? And this process is the same process a GT bank will follow when it starts. I don't know, FCMB or whichever bank. It's the same process. You need to follow the same process. You need to change your thinking from, okay, you know what, I'm just a fashion person, I like to sew clothes, to you're a business person. Or alternatively, if you want to outsource this function, you can outsource it to consultants who can help you answer these questions. But
most of us can't afford it, if you know what I mean. How much are people making in the fashion industry to be able to outsource a lot of their work? Sorry, I'm having to play devil's advocate for the benefit of people watching.
No, fantastic. I think the question you should ask yourself is, how much do you want to make? I think you should ask yourself, how much do I want to make? Okay, so do I want to sell 5 clothes? If you want to sell 5 clothes, fine. I mean, you can go ahead and take a risk. But if you want to sell large numbers, see, you need to understand that there's a reason why certain brands are successful. H&M, Zara, Calvin Klein, they spend a lot.
It's not at a Nigerian level, I beg.
Okay, well, I don't know too many. I don't know.
I know you do research. I don't think there's a lot of research on Nigerian designers. So
exactly, and maybe that explains why. Maybe that's why it explains, and that's the thing. I think that we put effort on the wrong thing. We put so much effort on the design, put so much effort on the operations, and forcing people to buy what you have. You've not even asked the question, why do these people need to buy my clothes? Nobody has asked that question. If you don't know why are you spending? Yeah, exactly. You don't know why are you spending so much time designing what is in your head and forcing me to buy it. Do you understand? And complaining
Well, that's who we are as designers, though, because we have different aesthetics. I was giving you the example of the Ashwebi market. When I was doing the Ashwebi market, I mean, there was money there, but I was miserable. Why do I want to set up a business of my own and then be miserable while at it? Why not do what I want and then find customers that would patronize me? You understand what I mean?
Okay.
The thing is in doing what somebody wants, but at your detriment.
So you need to understand, yes, okay, so you can wake up this morning and decide, this is what I want to do. I was inspired by what the Holy Spirit to come up with a certain idea for a business. So the question now you should not ask yourself is how many people are going to identify with this product or this idea you have. You need to ask those questions. You need to ask that question.
But you're not like a chicken and egg situation. Which one comes first, the chicken or the egg?
So there are ways to do it. The truth is, there are ways to do it. There are two ways to do it. One way is basically do your research. I don't know. I'm not saying necessarily conduct some fancy questionnaire, but it's basically observing. So if you look at the likes of Steve Jobs, that's what they did. Observed human behavior. You need to do a lot of observing to identify a gap. You can't just sit down and decide this is what I want to do. The question is, what gap am I feeling? That's one. Another way to do it is in the reverse. So for example, you can say, I have an idea to do this is my business model. Shoot it out in the market and get feedback. Okay, so if out of 10 people, 3 people show interest, or maybe out of 100 people, 3 people, you know that those are the 3 people that will have that need, and walk backwards and ask yourself, these 3 people, where are they? Who are they? Where can I find more of them? Do you understand? But the point is that you need to come down to identifying meeting the need. Either you find out what that need is by conducting a research, you find that need by pushing a minimum viable product, and getting a response, but you have to find what that need is. If not, you will be in the same situation of people who go build large fashion houses, employ so many people, they'll sell all those kind of clothes and keep complaining that Nigerians don't buy your products because you don't understand you don't understand the need that people have. You don't understand it. That's the thing. And like I said, I'm not saying H&M philosophy. It is what happens. This is what H&M does. It's what Zara does. It's what everybody does. So like I said,
I really genuinely, because I know you do a lot of research, so I know that. Yeah. But one question I have to ask, as an outsider looking in, and I always, that's why my mentors, I feel fascinated. The reason being, I need an outsider looking in to tell me what the problem is. So you're outsider looking in. Tell us what the problem is. Tell us what we could do better. Tell us how to find the lead. Tell us how to... Do you understand where I'm coming from? Because a lot of times we've all gone for courses. And I know you have a course coming through. But the thing is, we've all gone for courses. And it's not like it sounds like a broken record because this is what everybody says. But it doesn't really apply to me. So you need to tell us exactly what to do. As an outsider...
Okay, so I'm started looking in, so I would say, you know what? So I guess I'm speaking to people who have already started some form of fashion business. Okay, so you have, maybe out of 100 people, how many people buy your product? Maybe one person has purchased your product and likes your product. So walk backwards and build the profile of that person. Okay, so
what is part of his profile? Who the person is, how much the person earns, or what?
Yes, who the person is, what need does he meet my product, what does he like of my product? He likes the sleeves, he likes the neck, he likes that my dress is loose fitting, he likes that he can wear my dress for a wedding, he likes that he can wear my dress to sleep, he likes that my dress looks good on him when he's going to meet his girlfriend, or or it looks good on her when she's going to meet her boyfriend. What time of the day does he wear the dress? I mean, how many times does he wear it? And all that. So build a profile of that person. What's his age?
So that's like the customer avatar, right?
Sorry?
That's like the customer avatar.
Yes, the avatar, yes. Or persona, whatever you want to call it. So you build it based on that one person. Walk backwards. So this is my kind of customer. This is the person who will willingly pay X amount for my product without me shouting too much. I walk backwards and ask yourself, where can I find more of this kind of people?
That's a good question. Where can we find more of these kind of people?
Yes, exactly. So sorry?
Where can we find more of this kind of people?
This kind of person, yeah. But the thing first is define who that person is and walk backwards. Where do I find him? Okay, what networks are they? What social media platforms do they use? Do they use LinkedIn? Do they use Facebook? Do they use Instagram, whatever it is, what did they use? Okay. Typically, what colors do they like? Typically, what size of clothes do they normally wear? So walk backwards and ask this question. Find now, so target those kind of people. Now, if you do that, when you're doing your marketing,
how do you target them? Apart from digital marketing.
Sorry?
Apart from digital marketing, how do you target them?
It depends. So another easy way is referrals. So you find out that the best way to the truth is that till today, till tomorrow, word of mouth still is the best way to sell a product. So you might choose to incentivize your current customers. So those 2 or 3 people, you might choose to incentivize them. You know what? Okay, help me get one person and I'll give you 50% discount on the next purchase. Okay, so where do you hang out? What kind of people do you meet? Okay, you know what? So let's go out on a Friday. Let me meet your kind of customers. You know what? Please help me put this on your timeline. Yeah, so give me a customer referral. So you can start from there. So that's I think research, I think it's called Snowball. So you can start from there. So if you know that, okay, I can't afford to do digital marketing, maybe I'll just do a referral system and build on my current networks on those people. And word of mouth still is the best way. It still is the best way to do it. So you can use purely word of mouth to grow your business.
But what if people are just not buying? Because, I know, for example, let me use myself as an example. I have testimonials, I have videos, I have Google reviews, I have, chats. I have so many people that, like my product. I'm going to use the product or a service. But, it's not like I have like 8,000 people coming to register for my courses. Do you get my point?
Yeah, so I don't know if you're familiar with Dropbox. So do you know the story about Dropbox? So Dropbox grew.
I don't know the history, but I've heard it's one of those stories.
So Dropbox.
I don't know why combinator.
Sorry?
Were they not I don't know, sponsored by Y Combinator or something like that?
I don't know details. Okay. So the question is, how did they grow? So they grew primarily through referrals. Dropbox Airbnb. So Airbnb is, you know what? So you make a referral to X person, you get X discount on your next purchase. Dropbox.
They don't give me that. I use Airbnb all the time.
Sorry?
I use Airbnb all the time.
Oh, you've not been getting that. Oh, sorry, they do that a lot. That's how they grow. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I only know that. I only know it's like Uber gives you like a code to send to other people.
Uber, exactly. How did Uber grow so fast in Lagos? Primarily through referrals. So you know what? So there's a code. So send this code. Your next trip is free. Or you know what? Sign up and your first trip is free. It's the same thing. Dropbox did the same thing too. So refer a friend and get 50. Get some free MB free. So that's the thing. So they grew their network and based on their network and you get sign-ups very quickly. So what about?
Well, all we want to change ourselves and keep giving discounts.
So the question is, what is cheaper? Do you want to go and try do digital marketing, get your leads, make your phone calls, beg the person to buy, and go to that stress? Whereas you can go through referral that is even quicker. So the question is, what is the cost and what is the reward? Yeah.
True.
Yeah, so that's the thing. But the point is that you need to have a bag of tricks. You need to have explore the use of word of mouth. You need to explore the use of digital marketing. You need to explore the use of traditional marketing, whatever it is. But like I said, the key point is be experimental. Don't think that you're going to just wake up and you know what, that's it, I want to do digital marketing. I'm going to kill everybody with banners. I know, shoot, verify, and nobody is buying, and you're swearing, and you're cussing everybody, cussing Buhari, you know what, I've spent so much money. There are easier ways to do this thing. I prefer word of mouth because one, is cheaper. Two, it helps you scale your business as you grow, rather than you going to go and build so much capacity. Yes, people might think differently, but these are things that have worked. So I'm not talking about things that I've invented. These are things that have worked. So you just need to have that experimental nature to try different things.
Okay. I know you have a 9 o'clock meeting, so we have about 20 minutes. So tell us quickly. I know this is just one part of or one aspect. I know we're going to have like another Instagram live, where we're talking about how to grow revenue, how to find the customer. Because truth be told, at this point in time, I can see for myself, I am sick and tired of figuring things out. All I want to do is just sit in a classroom as long as you just tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do. You know.
Yeah, so that's Exactly. So I'm telling you. I'm telling myself who has just started his own business. I'm telling everybody, listen. You need to stop and think. You're not just a fashion designer who just likes to cut and sew and work on the runway and look nice and fly with the models. You are a business person. Okay? You need to wear that hat. So you're a business person the same way the MD, chairman of Exxon Mobil, is a business person. H&M did not get to that position by just cutting and sewing. They turned it into a business. And you need to realize that they're very deliberate in their marketing, even from the pictures that they use. So they define their market clearly, and they have a product market fit. And if you look at this consistency in their messages, once they're off on their messages, they get feedback quickly and they readjust. So that's another thing. First is the attitude. You need to be experimental in your attitude. Don't think that you're just going to come and force everybody with your marketing strategy and shoot and complain. You need to adjust to the market. Either you try and understand what the market needs are, or you put a minimum viable product and you work backwards from there. One.
Yeah, but remember, let me play devil's advocate again.
Yeah.
Facebook, there was an article I read about Facebook. What they said was we grew to who we were today by not taking customer feedback. What I mean by that is, I remember when when Facebook started, it was all about private, and then they made everybody's status public, and the whole world went ablaze because we're like, why should people see what we want? Why should people see what we say? But that was literally what drew them. The fact that they did not listen to people, and they were able to do things that they felt eventually would scale. And it worked. It was a gamble that worked.
So I'll tell you something. So what Facebook has done, and many of these companies do, what they do is first they come up with an MVP, minimum viable product, and that's exactly what Facebook did. If you remember the Facebook,
you're going to check on me now. I learned that from tech.
I'm sorry. I mean, all these big words I know, but sometimes they make a lot of sense. They're just easy ways to understand things. So Facebook first came up with the concept that he used on Harvard campus, right? First, on Ivy League universities. Now, what they checked was the sign-up rates, okay, and they grew through referrals, okay? And don't forget that Facebook introduces features today. If it's not successful, what do? They take it off. So
which features I'm dying to know which feature they take off, because I'm not sure which features they take off.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Even if you look at Amazon, even Jeff Bezos of Amazon who said it, he said, look, the only way we grow this our business is through experiments. So we try something.
Well, I understand the reason for A/B testing anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So that's it. So you're A/B testing. So that's the thing. So Facebook, come up with the minimum viable product. Like I said, come up with a sample of 2 shirts. Throw it out in the market and see how many people buy it. If out of 100, just 2 people buy it, walk backwards and ask yourself, what are the features of these 2 people? And where can I find more of these 2 people? You can walk backwards that way. Okay, so that's the thing. But I know I've said it like 4 or 5 times. But the key, and I have to repeat it again. You have to be experimental. You can't choke people down with your product. Experimental. Try and find out why people are buying your product. Who are they? You know what features can I add? What features can I remove? How can I make my business better? So that's it. So I've answered the question.
Well, I think so, but because I'm hoping I understand the essence behind experimenting. You don't get my point. I understand. I mean, all these things you said are things I have, because I do a lot of studies, I do a lot of research, and I understand the whole essence of experimenting. But the movement from point A to point B is where I get confused. The reason being, what you are saying sounds like theory. Okay, find out who this person is. But now I am in the middle of it. I'm running a fashion business. How do I actually know my customer? That's the question, because a lot of us are so into the business, and that's why I say I always look at people outside looking in, because then you can tell me what exactly I'm missing. I am operational in my business. Do I really want to go out to start looking for the kind of customer that I need and the profile of the customer and all the things in head?
You don't need to do an explain. You don't need to look out. So like I still go back to your database. So you talk about, for example, you have products that you're churning out. Okay. So out of this, who are these customers that are buying? Who are those that give me the least trouble? Okay, these are the people who, if I make a mistake here, they don't mind because they love my product. Go back but you need to do some segmenting. You need to do some understanding. I'm not saying carry some fancy book or come and employ some researcher with a lab coat and all that. It's just you understanding, look, who is this person? Everybody does it. You know what I mean? Even the Igbo trader, my fellow brothers on the streets, they can tell their customer when their customer walks in the shop, they know this is my kind of customer.
Actually, they do. Because
They do, exactly.
market. And the guy came and was telling me, no, they're not going to buy this. And I'm like, really? What's wrong with you? They're like, no, this is okay, no, it doesn't come. But, and I'm like, really? He knew exactly. In fact, he stayed in our factory for a long time, adjusting so many things.
Exactly.
And I was like, no, this one is not taking no. I'm like, but he's out there on the street every day.
Yes, that's the thing. So you know,
create the product for us, and I thought that was such a fantastic thing that he did. It was just we both hit a roadblock, but I mean that was my stint to the mass market. I think I had about two or three stints to the mass market. The other lady was like, no, this fabric is wrong, and I was like, what's wrong with it? I didn't see anything wrong with it. Okay, no, that's what people want.
yeah, but that's it. But you made a good point. That's the thing. You know the thing. You know what the sorry to use the word. What the Igbo man does for us is that they turn what we know, what we do into a science. So it's what our traders do. It's what our traders do. Forget that they package it and turn it into a book.
What do you mean our traders?
Well, I mean, people will have the right to say it. But in general, even if the Hassaman, that sells suya, they all know who their customers are. If you walk in, they know, this one is not. This guy can't. Not necessarily. Maybe he might not afford it. Maybe he might be too problematic to please. So I beg, carry your wallet and go and please. I know the people that buy my product. So that's the thing. You need to be able to say that. If you can't say that in your business, then you have a problem. If you can't say, you know what? No, this is not the kind of people. This is my kind of person. Not necessarily because of money, but just because of the need. Okay, but you being enlightened, you being on Instagram and knowing what it is, you need to move further to understand why. So once you can understand that why, your marketing messages are tied to fitting that profile. You see, the owner of H&M is what? How old is he? But when he's doing adverts, he doesn't use old men on his pictures. He uses his target market on his pictures because he understands his target market. And that's the thing. So that consistency flows. See, a business is successful when there's logical consistency all the way. In terms of the product, in terms of the market, in terms of the marketing communication, in terms of distribution channels. Once you have consistency along those channels, then you're fine. You have bottlenecks when you have inconsistencies. So your marketing is for people in this category. Your operation system is for people in this category. Your products are for people in this category. You see that you're off. You're completely off. So all you get
actually, it does make a lot of sense. So the question I want to ask now, I mean, I know some people are joining us. I just want to ask, how many of us actually know who our customer is? Because I think I know who my customer is. Well, I mean, sometimes you go through so much stress, especially with this, in this day and age of debt receivables and all that stuff. It's just a crunch in the market. So the question is, who are the people that are the customers that are going to buy? What if I get it wrong? What if I'm marketing to the wrong people?
Yes. Yeah, those are questions that we need to answer. Those are questions we need to answer.
You know me, I've engaged you, so I'm waiting for you to give me answers to those questions. I'm so happy I'm tossing all my wahala to you because what I keep telling you, I don't have the time. I just do the work and then just give me the results.
But you need to think, so you need to think a bit differently. So the entrepreneur is not just the person, like I keep saying, it's not just the person who cuts out. So you also need to think strategically. You really need to be the person who drives the strategy of your business. If not, you'll be off. So as much as you're busy, you come back sweaty, you quarrel with that customer, you sack that staff, the question you should ask yourself, my business is in position properly in terms of the strategy. You really need to think it through. You're the owner of the business. You're the person in charge. Your employees come and do what you want them to do. You hardly will hear an employee stand up and say, boss or madam, sorry, but I think we're off the mark. You're hardly going to hear that. You're the person to really, that's your job. So I keep telling you, you need to get your hands on operations. You need to think strategically. That's your work. That's your job. You need to be able to lead people in the direction. If you're the person getting your hands dirty in everything, then, well, I don't know. I wonder how well you grow. The owners of businesses are playing golf, on the beach, on their boats, in their yachts, in their wherever, thinking, cracking their heads. So I watched a documentary of Bill Gates, and he spends a week every year. He goes away from his family and everything and just sits down and read books. A week every year. and it comes back, you can imagine all the ideas and everything comes back and it comes to implement. If you were the person that was selling the software, if you were the person that was handling the operations, he won't be able to do that. He definitely will be where he is today.
But that's where we find ourselves, though, because we're the ones doing it.
It's what we choose. See, you need to understand that this market, the Nigerian market is one of the largest markets in the world.
So they keep claiming. So why are so many people complaining?
Because that's the thing, because we've not sat down to crack it. Sorry to say, but why are the foreigners coming to crack our market, or we Nigerians are not able to crack it?
They get it all free.
Sorry?
And I can tell you for free that I can get readily at a cheaper rate than what I'm being given in Nigeria. So most people actually bring profit from outside or money from outside, and then eventually now, take it back, because by the time you compare the exchange rate, it's more favorable for them, and they can get loans at cheaper rates.
So are you saying, wait, that's the point. I mean, I don't doubt that. So capital can be a problem. But are you saying that if you got the same amount of money as any of them gets, you would have the same output as they get? Is that what we're saying? I don't know. I mean, that may be possible.
I've come to realize that one of the major issues that we have around here is that we're too subsistent in our thinking. Like that's why I've been telling you from this country generally, because we are at the bottom part of the pyramid, like at the bottom of Maslow. And come in here because another and they can think. In Nigeria, it's like a rat race. You understand? It's like you keep going around in circles. All you want to do is make enough money to feed or to pay salaries or to pay rent, and it's a bit much. And then policies are coming in every day that even reduce what you make. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So it is quite tough. So it's difficult for us to sit and think and say we want to think strategically. Like really. And the truth is, the business owner probably can't afford people that can think strategically for them, if you understand. So it's about also being practical.
It's about, you're very right, too. I mean, there are peculiar challenges in dealing with Nigeria. Indeed that there are. I mean, I'm not going to minimize that. There are definitely challenges, but the more reason why you should understand what they are. The more reason why you need to understand where the hurdles are, the more reason why you need to think. There are so many hurdles, there are so many things that are working against you. You need to think. So if you don't do your thinking, so they say measure twice, cut once. If you don't think and measure before you cut. Sometimes I'm amazed at how people go rent a building in Lekki Phase 1, spend millions refurbishing it, and you don't have a market. Do you understand? You don't see people build a market. People do that. Then you want to now begin to flog everybody to buy your product. It doesn't work that way. Do you understand? It doesn't work that way because you've not really done a lot of thinking through. So that's the thing. I think, but people are doing it. The traders on the street are doing it. Some of them might have turnovers, 5 million per week. Some of them do that, those kind of numbers.
Yes, no, that mass market, I need to crack that mass market. I need to understand how they're making so much money.
That's what I'm saying. So they know in their own crude, sometimes uneducated way, sometimes educated. Some of them are very educated, sometimes uneducated way. They know the markets. And the good thing is that they leverage on what other people have done. With their apprenticeship system, so you come and you attach to somebody who already knows the market, and you learn the market, and you expand on your own. So there's a lot of knowledge transfer that happens, as against you just jumping into the water. You get burnt. That's the thing. So there's a lot of knowledge transfer that we don't understand, that we take for granted, that happens at the point of apprenticeship. So the person understands the market. I said that profiling is fantastic. They see you, they know. That's it. So they understand because they've spent time in the apprenticeship system understanding customers, understanding hardware processes, understanding operations. They've spent that time. So we too, really like to wear the ties, speak the big English. We need to understand what it is that we're doing before we go and begin to rent buildings in Lekki Phase 1, open shops in VI, and nobody, once a week, somebody comes in, open Instagram, build all that capacity, and nobody's buying your product. Do you understand? That's the thing. So a lot of thinking has to happen before.
Okay, so I mean, what did I tell you? 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes left on this call.
Yes, unfortunately.
But what I can see is, I mean, I know we started a bit late, also because it was just just like crazy for me today. But I know we're going to have a conversation again, maybe next week. What exactly are we going to talk about next week? Because, this was just like on the periphery. Like, this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do. I know that the topic that you sent to me was actually customer retention as well as increasing revenue, right?
Yes.
For the benefit of others. And hopefully I'll have enough time to create a flyer and put it out there and also send a broadcast so that more people can benefit from this. I also know that you're planning on a course very soon. The question is, what exactly, because the truth is, I am tired of going and learning and not having time to implement. So what exactly are you going to tell us exactly how to find our customers? Or are you just going to go about theories that are not going to be practical?
No. So what we'll do is that we'll do a mix of a bit of education and consulting. So what we'll do is that we'll spend some time explaining concepts, okay, and discussing concepts. Then we can now go into individual people's circumstances and help people solve their problems.
But it's an online course. How is that going to happen? Do you have enough time?
How it happens is that you first have to join the session and participate in the program first, okay? Now that enlists you to have some consulting hours with myself and probably you if you're available, okay? So you join the course. We have the first maybe an hour 30 minutes. We have a discussion, ask questions, and after the class we can have individual sessions for each person who participates in the program. So, but the thing is that for us to be able to have the consulting experience, you need to understand the concepts and you need to understand where we're going, which is why you need to attend the course. So it's a combination of two things. What we're going to be able to do at the end of this exercise, you should be able to basically see improvements in your revenue. So we're going to be dealing with concepts. So like I said, they're big grammar words, but it's what everybody does every day. We're going to be looking at things like product market fit. I've talked extensively about that today. We're going to be looking at things like customer journeys. So what is the experience that your customer goes through in booking for your services, in booking or making an order, buying your product? What's the experience you go through in payment, and what experience does he go through in making referrals? We're going to look at that chain and explore that chain. We're also going to be looking at things like order fulfillment. I mean, how does it work? How do we also automate certain processes? How do we use the CRM? So these are some of the things that we're going to be looking at.
In 1 hour.
So what we'll do is that we'll take it one by one. So we'll take us a good point. So we'll take it one by one. So I guess you put out the word by next week. We'll take it one by one. We'll talk about the product market fit. We'll take 1 hour on product market fit. Go through 4 examples of it, processes of how we know we're doing well or not. In the next session, we can talk about the customer journey. Go into details of the customer journey. How do you map out your customer journey? How do you identify bottlenecks in your customer journey? What can I do to remove impediments in my customer journey?
That last experience we had was such an eye-opener. That one of the events I wanted to have, and you were asking me about my customer journey, and all those questions just made me think, and actually made me, reduce, the steps the customer has to go through. Because I remember that, when we were talking initially, we had like 8 or 10 steps, and you were like, no, I don't understand the customer journey. You need to put me through the customer journey. By the time we're done, we reduced it from like 10 steps to like 3 steps, which I thought, why didn't we even think of this in the first place? Why did we take an outsider to tell us that no, 10 steps is too long? We need to do like 3 steps or 4 steps. Because by the time they get to the 5th step, they're too tired and they will
They're tired. I mean, if I have to go through 8 or 10 iterations to buy your product, come on, I will go and buy something else. I will go and buy something else. Just that if
so do you think a lot of us, as an outsider looking in, do you think the stress is just too much? Like, do this just before we can, patronize, a designer, like the steps people have to go through to place an order.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So that's the thing. That's what I find, and that's another. Permit me another criticism that I think I'll trade here is sorry to use the word you guys. So you guys.
Feel free.
Against you guys. You guys just sit down, focus so much on the design and the production. You don't ask yourself what is the process the customer goes through to even get his order. So
I never thought about it until that day when you asked me those questions.
How many steps?
I was like, you actually don't know what the customer journey is.
Yeah, that's it exactly. So you need to think about it. How many steps does the customer take to get his clothes? Okay, if it is taking 8 or 12 or 10 steps for him to go, of course you know that he's not going to. If it's so hard for him to even pay, if there's no objective method for even pricing the product. So So like Uber, you have an objective process. You might not like it, but it's objective and you can see it for pricing. As against using yellow taxis where it is how the person feels in the moment. Do you understand? So those kind of things is what you need to look at, the customer journey in your process. You might find that a certain people might not buy your product simply because it's fantastic, because it's just easy to buy. Certain things you buy because it's just easy to buy. Gala is just so easy to buy. Do you understand?
Yeah, they're making a killing.
Exactly, it's just so easy to buy. It's almost time.
It's time. Okay, so people, it's 9 o'clock. He has an interview, but I just had to get in here today just so that we don't postpone this session again. We postpone it in January. So next week I'll put up a flyer, hopefully early enough, so that people will know about it and will work towards it, as well as what we call the course. Because from my understanding now, it's a series of courses, not just one course. Because I don't see how we can pay all that in that period of time. Okay, all right, no issues. So we'll chat on WhatsApp, and hopefully we'll have more time to plan the next Instagram live. And I mean, I go for your meeting. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and congratulations on your first Instagram live. Hopefully, I'll be off early next week, and then we'll be able to do it. And but we'll talk and make a plan.
Yeah, fantastic. It was fun. I enjoyed myself. Thank you.
All right, you see, 1 hour is 5 minutes is gone. That's how time flies. All right, I'll see you later so that you don't get your meeting.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right.
Bye.
All right then. Okay, people, that's all we have today. Hopefully very soon. I'd like to hear more from Chinedu, because like I said, he has been such an amazing person, because as an outsider looking, he was able to tell me the issues I was having in my business and the things I had to go through. I mean, that customer journey for me was such an eye-opener, because like, imagine minimizing 10 steps, because he kept asking things like, is this step really necessary? No, I need to understand the customer journey. And I thought about it and I was like, no, it actually isn't necessary. Sometimes we're so fixated on what we have to do or what we're doing to realize that it's always about the customer. So I look forward to chatting to him next week, and you all have a good evening. Cheers. Bye-bye.